Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packesr, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Grossi, and today, as we continue to sift through potential head coach candidates for the Green Bay Packers, we're looking at another highly requested candidate, and that is Mr. Eric Bieniemy, the current offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into what Mr. Bieniemy's got going on and seeing if he, of course, is the right pick for the Green Bay Packers. Now, as we talked about in previous episodes with guys like Lincoln Riley and Josh McDaniels, we were talking about kind of the importance of experience, and that was one of the reasons why I was kind of a little shaky on Lincoln Riley because he doesn't have that NFL experience. Bieniemy has all the NFL experience, has a ton of it, including a 4-year tenure as a running back, chosen by the Chargers in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. But this is his first season in 2018 as the Chiefs offensive coordinator. Before that, he was a running back coach in college, and from 2005 to 2010, he was the running back coach for the Vikings, kind of leading Adrian Peterson to the promised land when it comes to running backs. And in the 2010 season, he was the assistant head coach for the Minnesota Vikings as well. After that, he headed back to Colorado in 2010 as the offensive coordinator, where he stayed there for 3 years until he became the running back coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bieniemy has kind of had an impressive resume when it comes to running backs, obviously having the experience himself, but guys like Adrian Peterson, Kareem Hunt before he decided to punch people and kick people. He has allowed these running backs to really be put in the best positions for success. And so for that, you got to kind of tip your hat to him. But is that the kind of thing that the Green Bay Packers want? While we do have Aaron Jones, and God, just give Aaron Jones all the balls, all of them. We also do need someone who can lead a high-powered offense, which is what the Chiefs are currently doing in 2018. Now, a couple little tidbits here, which I think are important, is that when it comes to the actual play calling, Bieniemy does not call the plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. That is all Andy Reid. Now, Andy Reid, who has had a hell of a resurgence in Kansas City, he has that, these words keep popping up everywhere I look, of like the coaching tree, right? So who's going to be the next guy who's going to come off the coaching tree and have success within the NFL? You have Doug Peterson, obviously. More recently, you have Matt Nagy running the Chicago Bears and leading them to a first place spot in the NFC North and heading to the playoffs for the first time in quite some time, since 2010. And so Bieniemy seems like that guy who is next in line, right? He stepped into this position as the offensive coordinator. He's doing really, really well. The Chiefs have one of the highest powered offenses that you could possibly have in the NFL. Guys like Mahomes, who have praised Bieniemy up and down, that he really knows the guys. You know, he has that relationship with them, that he is really fixed in on the details. But all of that being said, there are a couple things that I'm not so sure about Eric Bieniemy, and this guy might be our guy. There's a chance where I think that he might be one of the more qualified individuals to coach the Green Bay Packers. But there are a couple things that give me pause, or he might not even make it to Green Bay if that's the case. The first thing is that Colorado, where he was the offensive coordinator back in 2010, they are looking for a new head coach. And now I know, kind of going from offensive coordinator in the NFL to head coach in college, for some may seem as a demotion, but for this guy, I mean, you know, being the head coach, getting paid, $3 million a year to go and be the head coach and run that team the way that he wants, might not be the worst thing. And obviously he already has all of that experience with Colorado as well. So I feel like that might be a potential problem. In addition, the timing also might just not work out with Bieniemy. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the playoffs. They look to lock in that number one spot. By the time this video came out, they already might have done that. But that they're not going to be able to, the Packers aren't going to be able to interview him because he's going to be in the playoffs at least until mid-January. And considering the Packers have already started the interviewing process, I'm sure that they are willing to put in as much time and as much effort and interview as many candidates as it takes. but the timing also might not just work out for Bieniemy as well. In addition, the Andy Reid tree. Is this a situation very similar to Josh McDaniels, in which we're going to pick up Josh McDaniels hoping that we get a Bill Belichick, but is the mastermind behind it all Andy Reid? Now, Matt Nagy obviously has had a bunch of success. Doug Peterson has had a bunch of success here, in that Andy Reid is giving Bieniemy the tools to succeed, and he is like taking that playbook, and he's calling he's creating the right plays for Andy Reid to call. But on top of that, I just want to make sure that we kind of temper our expectations a little bit, that we're not all of a sudden just going to become the Kansas City Chiefs when it comes to a high-powered offense. So the question becomes, should Eric Bieniemy be the next Green Bay Packers head coach? And looking at this, again, I think out of everyone that we've talked about when it comes to Josh McDaniels, I kind of don't want him in the Green Bay. Lincoln Riley, that adjustment period scares me a lot. And when it comes to overall experience, I would choose Bieniemy, and I think he would be a good fit for the Green Bay Packers for a number of reasons. Just because the relationships that he has with the players, that kind of background and experience he has as a player. He's coached he's been a coordinator in the college level. He's been in the NFL for since 2005. He was a running back coach all the way back then. He's dealt with these elite people. If you want to take Aaron Jones to the next level, I think that's a great thing. And the reason being that I'm mentioning Aaron Jones a whole lot and not Aaron Rodgers is because while we obviously want to give Aaron Rodgers the best tools to succeed, I think the way he succeeds best is by building a team around him and is giving Aaron Jones those opportunities. And hell, Williams played great against the freaking Jets. So, while I think he's still your backup running back, you can't just be all about Aaron Rodgers, because regardless of how much longer we have left of Aaron, he needs help. It can't just all be on him. And so with that being said, I think this is a guy who can create or bring over a high-powered offense that is maybe centered on the running back, but also you look at the Chiefs. They also have a great passing attack, and while Andy Reid is calling the majority of those plays, I think Bieniemy could be a nice boost for the Green Bay Packers. Is he going to get hired? I highly doubt it, and the reason being, again, is just for timing. I think there's other jobs out there that may be more attractive or may fit him better, or he might just wind up staying in Kansas City at least another year because he's leading this amazing offense with a young quarterback, what have you, so he may wind up just getting another head coaching job down the line. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com, TomGrossi Comedy, or at Tom Grossi Comedy on the Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, all the social medias and stuff like that. Check out Packesr on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, and of course here on YouTube. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.